I'm going to be showing you how easy it is to make a delicious protein hotcake or skillet pancake. Now, simply it's a pancake that you bake in the oven, which means that you can make it, you can throw it all in your blender or food processor, throw it in the oven, and then you can do your morning business and then come back to it 20 minutes later for a nice fluffy protein pancake that will hit all your macros. So I'm actually going to double up this recipe, but you'll see the foolproof recipe below or on the card, so you can print it off and then follow that to the T. So as I said, I'm going to double up the recipe and I will show you how it's done now. So we started off with some oats in our blender or food processor. Now what we're going to do, or the easiest way to start this, is to blend our oats into almost like a kind of a really fine grain, so almost into an oat flour. Alternatively, you can buy an oat flour, but just simple plain oats are absolutely fine. So we're going to grind that down until they're pretty fine. From there, it's really simple. So as I say, I've been doubling up this recipe, but you can check the recipe below just for a single serving. I'm doubling this up because I've got another person in the house that will absolutely love this. So we've preheated our oven to 180°, and then what we're going to do with our oats, we're going to throw in the rest of the ingredients. So for me, we're going to have 2 bananas. We're going to have I've got about 120 grams of low-fat Greek yogurt in here, but as I say, for a single serving, check below. So a good food processor or blender is absolutely fine with this. For me, I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's not baking soda, baking powder you need for this. And now you can use whole eggs or egg whites or a combination of the two, depending on what sort of macros you want to be hitting, depending on what kind of fats you allow yourself. Today I'm using 2 whole eggs and the rest are egg whites. But as I say, you can kind of adjust that to what you want to. It works equally as well with all of those. I do actually find with whole eggs it does taste a little bit nicer, they're a little bit more rich. So, okay, so we're going to add 2 eggs and our egg whites. Again, check below for the full recipe for a single serving. And then we're going to add our protein powder in that. Now I'm going to use a vanilla whey protein. A vanilla whey protein is a very kind of neutral taste. I have tried it with chocolate, it works fine, but I would stick with a vanilla. So we're going to add, for this recipe, to double it up, we're going to add 2 whole scoops. So, I've got a small scoop in this one, so I'll add about 4 of these. And then if you want to, you can add a pinch of salt into that as well. But for now, I'm just going to blend this up. If it gets stuck to the sides, you might want to get something to scoop that. So just scoop the edges, especially the protein powder. It could just stick to the sides sometimes. But as I said, once you throw your ingredients in there, it's really simple. Let you have a look at that. So it's a pretty smooth mix now. As I say, we've preheated our oven already, and I've just sprayed an oven-proof pan or skillet just with a little bit of spray or just kind of 1 kcal spray, and then you're just simply going to pour that into there, making sure we get absolutely everything. Make a mess as we do it. So we're getting everything into that pan. So if you're doing this in the morning, it is pretty quick. Once you've done it once, it's a foolproof recipe. Okay. So from there, we've got our basic pancake or skillet hotcake recipe there, okay? And then what I like to do from there is just add some berries on top, nuts, seeds, whatever you like really. So I'm just gonna add some raspberries on top. Just basically like a giant cake we're making. Spread those nice and evenly. Make it nice and Instagrammable. Add some pumpkin seeds. Sprinkle those on top. As I said, these are all extras to make it look good. And I'm going to put some slivered almonds and some, oi, get down, slivered almonds and some sesame seeds on top as well. Okay, so we're going to end up with something like that, if you can see it. So we're going to throw that in the oven at 180C, which is about, I think, 360F for about 20 minutes. As I said, this is a very large one. You'll probably need 12 to 15 minutes or so, and then we'll check back in a while just so you can have a look at how fluffy it's become. So we're about 25 minutes later here. As I said, I've doubled up on this hotcake recipe, but the smaller version, the half version, is probably only going to take about 15 minutes in the oven at 180 or 360F. So we're going to have a look at it now. Make sure you have a tea towel. There we go. So it should rise to a nice fluffy hotcake or pancake. You can put whatever you want on top of that, your favourite sugar-free syrup, some honey, some maple syrup, or it's just good as it is. Anyway guys, give it a go and let me know how you get on. Enjoy.